What is the story of David and Bathsheba? We're going to answer that question. You can also discover more on gotquestions.org. The story of David and Bathsheba is one of the most dramatic accounts in the Old Testament. One night in Jerusalem, King David was walking upon his rooftop when he spotted a beautiful woman bathing nearby. David asked his servants about her and was told she was Bathsheba, the wife of Uriah the Hittite, one of David's mighty men. Despite her marital status, David summoned Bathsheba to the palace, and they slept together. Bathsheba later discovered she was pregnant, and David's reaction was to attempt to hide his sin. The king commanded Uriah to report back to him from the battlefield. Bathsheba's husband dutifully answered, and David sent him home, hoping that Uriah would sleep with Bathsheba and thus provide a cover for the pregnancy. Instead of obeying David's orders, Uriah slept in the quarters of the palace servants, refusing to enjoy a respite with Bathsheba, while his men on the battlefield were still in harm's way. This showed integrity in sharp contrast to David's lack thereof. It became apparent that David and Bathsheba's adultery could not be covered up in that way. David enacted a second, more sinister plan. He commanded his military leader, Joab, to place Uriah on the front lines of battle and then to purposely fall back from him, leaving Uriah exposed to enemy attack. Joab followed the directive, and Uriah was killed in battle. After her time of mourning, Bathsheba married David and gave birth to a son. But the thing David had done displeased the Lord. When David and Bathsheba's child was born, the Lord sent the prophet Nathan to confront David. Nathan used a parable that angered the king. "As surely as the Lord lives, the man who did this must die. He must pay for that lamb 4 times over, because he did such a thing and had no pity." Nathan then pointed to David and uttered the chilling words, "You are that man." David was the one guilty of his sin, and judgment would be upon his house in the form of ongoing violence. David repented, and Nathan said, "The Lord has taken away your sin. You are not going to die. But because by doing this you have shown utter contempt for the Lord, the son born to you will die." The child did die a week later, and David's household experienced further hardship in later years. In total, 4 of David's sons suffered untimely deaths, the 4 times over judgment David pronounced upon himself. In the account of David and Bathsheba, we find many lessons. First, secret sin will be found out. Second, God will forgive anyone who repents. Third, sin's consequences remain even when the sin is forgiven. Fourth, God can work even in difficult situations. In fact, David and Bathsheba's next son, Solomon, became the heir to the throne. Even in bad situations, God has a plan that serves his sovereign purpose. That answers the question, what is the story of David and Bathsheba? On our website, gotquestions.org, you'll find a deeper discussion and recommended resources. If this helped you, give us a thumbs up and click subscribe. Meanwhile, if you'd like to study more, click the bell and check out these other questions.